What is going on, everyone, and welcome to Kart 6T3. My name is Ben. Thank you very much for stopping by. Real quick, if you didn't mind hitting a like on this video, possibly subscribe to the channel, that would be fantastic. Doesn't that just feel right? Doesn't it feel better when I do it that way? And then we'll add into Kart 6T3 is brought to you by TrackTac Tire Treatments. Treatments for tires and tracks. If you are looking for a tire prep program, if you are looking for something to assist in your dust issue at your track, please reach out to TrackTac, myself, Chris Harris, call the shop, anything like that. Get your answers, your answers to the questions that you have. Anyway, it's kind of, today's topic. Kind of funny that this channel is brought to you by a tire prep company because ban all tire prep. That's how we fix the sport. Let's talk about it. Okay, what am I talking about? I am talking about the ever-present call to ban tire prepping. In some people's opinion, it is all that is wrong with our sport. That tire prep has killed the industry. I don't think that karting is dead. Karting is currently on a lull. There are a lot of determining factors in that, disposable income, economy being probably the two biggest ones. But I try and devil's advocate, try and see things from other people's point of view as best I can. It doesn't mean I always agree, but I try and put myself in their position and try and understand where they're coming from. So where they're coming from is either a lack of knowledge or a lack of finances to keep up with, tire prep in general isn't overly expensive, but the art of tire prepping can be expensive when you're talking about having a multitude of sets of tires, multiple, sets of prep, different staggers, blah, blah, blah. I wouldn't fault tire prep from my perspective in that realm because people with money are going to spend money. The same people, if you ban tire prep and it becomes a tire war, they are just going to hit the track with a fresh set of tires every single time because they can afford it. They're knock yourself out. Ban tire prep and we won't prep our tires. But you running your 2019s against our 2024s, we're going to have a fresh set of 2024s every time we hit the track. So I wouldn't say that's it. People that have an issue with tire prep knowledge, not knowing exactly what to do. I can understand where you're coming from. That's why this channel exists, and why I try and talk about things that you can or, don't want to do to your tires, things, tire prep related, what, over prepping may do, what under prepping may do, different variables, this and that. It's more so about learning rather than, anything else. Anything new is hard to understand until you get into it. I've been tire prepping since 2007. I have a lot of knowledge about it. Doesn't mean I am the greatest. I am no tire guru. I am pretty okay with my setup and what I like to run up north here. So there's that. I take bigger issue in general with people, just if you ban tire prep, then all sins will be forgiven. And there is a very big, Millbridge. I'll just say Millbridge. When they bring up, that it will fix everything, they bring up the example of Millbridge. I think Millbridge is an exception to the rule. They have a lot of money coming in there. They have, obviously NASCAR drivers, their kids, that whole thing. They are doing things right. I hold no ill will towards Millbridge whatsoever, but the whole, hey, let's go to, treads and tear-offs type of crew, which is fine, and it works for them, but you're also, that concept won't work everywhere in the country without, it could work in the country. I don't want to say it's not possible. Anything's possible. But say for a local track, now you got to have treads. Now from what I know, Millbridge impounds tires. Now you're asking a local track owner, not everybody has that kind of situation going about. Not everybody has that kind of money in order to impound tires. There are tracks that do a Duro rule, which is cool, totally. But there are products, say Track Tack Black Sand, Track Tack Tire Tough Mint, that are going to build bite in a tire without dropping durometer. And Track Tack's not the only brand of tire prep that'll do that. If you prep from the inside, there may be something that doesn't drop durometer, but adds a bunch of bite to the tire. So you're not actually getting away from tire prepping when you introduce a durometer rule. There's the, hey, you buy your tires every time you go to the track. Ain't nobody can afford that. At a state level, understandably, but if you're talking about, tracks dropping off here and there due to circumstances, in this case, you're claiming that prep is the reason that, some of these tracks are losing their business or closing their doors or going to a partial schedule. Adding in something like that is just going to add, you can't be buying tires every time you go to a Saturday night track. That's not going to work. That's not going to do the sport any good. Yeah, there is just, like I said, I rally against this thing that, people just get on the internet and just say, ban tire prep. Well, yeah, but I can understand where you're coming from. I totally get it. There's an advantage that some people have over other people. You want it to be cart and tire and driver versus driver. I totally understand that. But when you look into the minute little things, like, people are going to find a way to cheat. They are going to find a way to prep unless you buy the tires at track, unless you impound the tires. Dirty tire rule, that's a possibility. But then again, dirty tire rule doesn't take out, unless you buy tires there at track, it doesn't take out prepping tires at home, and then showing up the track with internal prepping going on. So I think that there's just that, I won't say it's an ignorant standpoint. It's well-meaning. But just a blanket statement, ban all tire prep and, this is going to cure everything type thing. There are a lot of little things that go into that. And, it's going to be hard to ask local tracks. I'm going to AMS to race tonight, to ask John to police every single person, to police every single tire. Hey, this winter, now we're going to start taking samples out of tires. I'm not saying it's not possible. These are very possible things, but they are very time consuming. They are very money oriented. Now you have the cost of doing this and that. And then once somebody gets busted with doing something, people don't like change. There are a bunch of people like myself that I kind of like the way things are. There is a nuance to driving a cart on tires with no prep. Absolutely. There is also a nuance to the art of prepping tires, which I enjoy. That's part of kart racing to me. Now, I know a lot of my followers are going to disagree, and that's perfectly fine. I hold no ill will towards you. I really don't. If you want to run treads and tear-offs, if you want to do it your way, awesome. If you can build a following that way, I think it's fantastic. If you get a Millbridge going in your area, I think that is fantastic. More power to you. Lead by example. This can be done this way, and maybe the industry should shift towards that. Maybe we should shift towards treads. But right now, that is not the case. You're going to have a hard time if you just say, to people in general, no more prepping. I think more damage than good is going to happen. The people who are really good on your upper echelon levels are no longer going to want to do what they do and invest the kind of money, your chassis companies, your higher end racers, your big money racers. They're just going to say, well, not that their advantage is gone, but the thing that I was super good at, not only driving, but at prepping my tires and reading a track, knowing what it wants, what it doesn't want, making myself that elite type driver, they might not want to come back. And if, it's there's something to that. You need something to strive for. You know, if we're all running at the same speed, then you need somebody to set the bar that you're going to go chase that. You're going to have somebody driving a certain chassis that, hey, man, I want that chassis. You know, that person's fast on that chassis, great. That person's fast on that type of tire, great. That person's fast on that type of tire program, aka prep, great. I just think that it's too easy to get on the internet and just ban prep. Yeah, okay, in general, yeah, I get where you're coming from, but in general, when you go to apply it to a local track, into your local series, you know, this possibly could be a problem. I wasn't going to bring this up, but I'll bring it up, and in no shade whatsoever towards Brandon Clapperton. He's a friend of mine, know the guy. He loves karting, he loves racing, he puts his all into doing so, but Champion Speedway is not running today. They had very low car counts, and again, I would suggest that a lot of it has to do more so on the economy. People don't have the expendable income to go racing. But when you couple that with this year, they went to a dirty tire rule for all classes. Okay, fine. You can't touch your tires after, you know, I think they changed it till after practice. Okay, you can make one switch and then that's it. Once you hit the track for your heat races, that you're done changing tires. Don't touch them, don't wash them. Okay, then Reaper tires was, you know, put into the clone class. You can only run Reaper tires during the clone class. All right, fine. Again, I'm a big fan of Reapers. I think they are doing good things. The price point on them, the performance of the tire, I don't think is, you know, as bad as some are making it out to be. What I'm saying is those combined things, the economy. Now you're messing with people. People knew that Vega yellows, and they had a prep program that they liked, that worked at that track. Now you took all that stuff away from them. They are no longer allowed to wash tires. They're no longer allowed to prep at track. You took what they were really good at, and when the track was flourishing, away from them. I'm not saying that's the reason. I'm just saying it may be one of the reasons. People don't like change that much, and incrementally offering maybe one class that was a dirty tire rule. One class that, or you go to the Reaper tire, and say, okay, you have to run this tire during this, but don't change anything else. It's a possibility that might have been what happened at Champion. And just, I think, like, again, I want to reiterate, it's not that Brandon does a fantastic job as a promoter, as a, you know, somebody who cares about the sport. I don't ever want that to come off as I have an issue with him. Matter of fact, he's building a new track right now, Dreamfield, I believe it's called. And I wish him the best. I think it's going to be fantastic for him, and the track looks great already. But I think that people don't like change all that much, and when you throw things on top of not having a lot of money, not, you know, having a hard time getting to the track type of thing, it kind of compounds the issue, in my opinion. And that's all this is, guys. You know me. I do not soapbox myself. I do not, you know, you should be doing this and that. I'm not that type of person. I just like to look at all the variables and try and put myself in different positions of why this person believes this. Can we refute that in this way or another? This is the way I see it type of thing, which is, you know, they're all, or what is it, my old man? Everybody's got an excuse and they all stink, much like buttholes. Yeah. There's a more, you know, crude way of saying that, but I'm not going to say it here. Anyway, I thought you know, this might be an interesting video. I hesitate on being overly opinionated on this channel. I don't think I need to be. I just try and deliver it as I see fit. Like I said, I want to expand everywhere. I know there's different opinions on different things, and I want to take all those ideas and kind of condense them and give you what I think about it, but also to get you guys to, you know, think about it. Sometimes maybe you've typed that. Maybe you're just like, ban prep. Well, did you take into consideration what it might take to implement banning prep at a track? What a track owner would have to go through in order to do that. I just think it's a valid question. It should be, you know, obviously I'm a prep fan, so I'm gonna err on the side of I'd rather prep. That's just, it's something that I think I'm good at. It's something that I think a lot of people, you know, there's an art to it and don't want to give that up. You know, it's not only the driving, it's tire choice or this or that, but then you add in the extra of choosing the correct prep for the night and how well it behaves. So there you go, guys. Again, I thought this would be a valid video to put out there, get some people's brains churning. You know, could it start a fight in the comments? It's quite possible. We all know that I post up TikTok videos, and apparently everybody's got attitude about how I'm prepping tires and whether I'm breathing heavy while while they put prep on tires. I'm pretty sure it was the sound of the pad going across the tire, but a person thought that I was breathing heavy. Okay, the internet wins again, I guess. I don't have that thin a skin. Try again, buddy. Anyway, thank you very much, everyone. Sorry for the long video. If you get me passionate about a subject, I will keep on going and going and going. It was Thursday night. I felt as if I not overtalked Wesley, but I had a lot more to say Thursday on our live stream on Dirt Kart Racer Talk. I posted it up on here. And I'm sorry about the skipping on that, too. Nothing I can do about it. Cell service. If I run my Wi-Fi, it won't pick up in here. If I run my cell service, it got glitchy. This episode, I don't understand why. It's just weird. But thank you very much, everyone, for stopping by. Remember, Track Tack Tire Treatments sponsor this here channel now. So if you ever question whether or not I like prep or not, you got your answer now. So thank you all for stopping by. I can't thank you. I think we're nearing 4,500 subscribers. Thank you all for that. I know it's not in my wildest dreams. I just get on here and I talk, and people apparently like some of the stuff I have to say, some of the information I'm giving, and I can't thank you all enough for that. So, all right, guys, I got to get my crap ready. I got to get it loaded. I got to get this edited so I'm not doing a whole car talk type of thing. And, yeah, I'll see you in the next video. Later.